I felt bad for her, but she earned it because she just has a minimum wage job and lives in small apartment with 3 roommates. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel disowned stories. Today we have a story where this woman left with her partner and comes back after few years. Let's see what actually happened. Me, my ex-wife call her X, my neighbor P, my neighbor's wife call her M. Me and my wife married in 2009. We had our baby in 2010. In November 2010, while she was asleep, a message pooped on her phone, and it was a flirty message. I checked on her phone, and it was from our neighbor. I went through every single message, which included texting, sharing dirty pictures, and even had planned meetups at hotels. This was going on from the first week into our marriage. I felt like my world crumbled in front of me. I took screenshots of every message and saved on my phone. Next day I contacted M and let her know about the affair. They were married for 4 years and had their first baby almost exact same time as we had ours. I confronted my wife and told her that I am going to give her divorce. She started crying and everything else, but I did not consider it. I also did paternity test on our child because the affair timeline was same as conception date. After 2 days, when I come home from work, our baby was crying in our bed and X was nowhere to be seen. Then I found a letter of her telling that she did not love me and she had left with P and to not contact them. I knew this was coming, but I didn't believe that a mother can leave her child alone and can run off with her lover. I then went to M's house. She had received same letter by her husband. I felt sorry for her as she was going from postpartum depression, had her baby just a few months ago and was left alone. Also, paternity test result came back and he was my son. I tried to contact X's family, but they also didn't know where she was and was shocked by her behavior. Her father even said that if she ever came back, she would not be allowed to enter their house. They basically disowned her. L was very supportive. She began coming to my home to watch kids and even breastfed both of them. As time passed, we were like family. My son called her mom and had known only her as mom. We also decided to go on dates. We engaged a year later and married in 2013. We had our first child in 2015. We often discussed things about our exes and how we were often disrespected by them. We were a happy family. In 2018, when my son accidentally saw a picture of my ex, picture after birth, so it included me and him, so we decided to tell him that her birth mother X passed away by a car accident years ago, and L took care of him since he was 6 months old. Fast forward 2 days ago, I received an anonymous email. I opened it and it read, "I want to see my son and want my family back. We are not divorced yet." I knew it was X. I showed this to L. L started freaking out and asked me if I would take her back. I calmed her down and told her that she was an ugly past and I would never leave you. I would never take her back. Now, I am confused what to do. I will definitely not take her back, but should I let her meet my son or not? Should I take my son's opportunity to have connection with her birth mother? Edit. Thank you for such response. I have missed a lot of detail to tell you guys. First is that I have divorced her before marrying M. I think she don't know as she was know her to be located. Second is that I have written L instead of M by mistake. I had full custody of my son as X was nowhere in the picture, but now she is back, so I don't know if my full custody will be maintained or not. Thank you for such a response. A lot has happened since the last time. Also, I didn't wanted to post the update as many people in comments thought it is fake. But till this day, I am getting messages of update, so I decided to update you all. So let's start by saying this, that we didn't require court or lawyer. Some of you claimed that she would have no parental rights over my son, as she had abandoned us years ago. To confirm the claim, I contacted my friend who is a lawyer and confirmed that she could face heavy fine, termination of parental rights, and jail. I told him about the time period of abandonment and asked what were the chances of winning in my case. He told me that if a parent fails to contact physically to child for over a year, 99% he/she is given termination of parental rights. I had a sigh of relief after listening those words. I also joined therapy with my son so that I can tell him the truth about his biological mother. As I wanted to find out that why she contacted me after 10 years, I messaged her father, who is still a best friend of mine, and gives me some good advice whether X contacted his family or not. Turns out that she had contacted her sister for money time to time for 10 years, but now her sister is not willing to help her, as she was asking a bit more money. I asked him about her conditions and whether introducing her to my son would be a good idea or not. He answered by saying, she just has a minimum wage job and lives in a small apartment with 3 roommates. By listening him saying this, I felt bad for her, but she earned it. He said that she would have a bad influence on our son, so it's better not to introduce him to X. Next, I called her sister and asked her what were their conversations like in past 10 years. She told me everything. How X contacted her only for money because after paying rent, she had no money left for groceries and other utilities. X never asked about my son but only for money. I asked her about relationship between X and P, to which she replied, he is in prison for assault since 2015. I don't know why, but I felt happy upon hearing this news. I asked her whether X knows about the divorce or not. She said X has no idea about the divorce and she still thinks that we are legally married. I asked her to tell X about everything, divorce, child custody, my new family, and that she has no right over my son. I told everything to M and she was a bit surprised by X's behavior. She never thought that a mother can be so careless towards her own child. She was shocked to hear the news about P. It's been 30 days and X has not contacted us. Family counseling is going great and we have decided to legally adopt one another's kids. I don't think X will contact, as her sister might have told her about her position in case legally, and that she would just waste money by hiring an attorney. It sounds like the only reason she may have gotten in contact was to shake him down for money, because she thought she could threaten custody. I'm glad to hear this is going well so far. I'm so glad he's doing well, and he did the right thing to stay with his new wife and continue with the life he has now. My ex-husband has not seen our son since he was young. I filed for a custody hearing and he didn't even show up. It's been 8 years now. This is my worst fear, him popping back up out of the blue. Unfortunately, child support was ordered and garnished from him, so he has parental rights. He just has no parental visitation or custody. I would give anything for him to terminate his rights, so I never have to worry about it again. But I don't know what's right or wrong here. My son is going to want to know eventually. Will moving forward to secure custody for any future situations impact my son? I have no idea. Parenting is hard. Co-parenting is harder. I finally made an appointment with a child psychologist to discuss how this situation can impact my son, and how to navigate it in a supportive, healthy, loving way. Basically, a professional to help me know what is age appropriate for such an adult topic. I hope none of you judge me for not knowing. I know I'm a mom and should just inherently know, but I don't. So I asked for help. I'm so glad your situation turned into a happy blended family. How awesome that you're adopting her kids, and she's adopting yours. I'm so happy for all of you. I have been married to my husband for a little over 3 years. We were together for about 18 months before that. Our relationship has been great, I thought. We get along extremely well. We are constantly laughing and having fun. We go out with friends and do fun stuff all the time. We are both busy working and in school, so we don't have tons of free time, but we have dinner and watch our shows and spend quality time together every evening. We sometimes get in tiffs. I can be kinda moody and he can be kinda irresponsible, but never anything major at all. Literally never have we yelled at each other or been in a big fight. I help him care for his elderly grandma, which is a huge responsibility. I love her a lot. We love each other's family. We go on trips, plan for the future, support each other, encourage each other, etc. The only gray cloud over everything is potentially moving out of state. Eventually, we've talked about, I'll need to be closer to my mom to care for her. She literally doesn't have anyone else. Also, I'd like to move closer to my mom and sister if we have kids, which we planned on probably doing, so they can have family around them. His parents leave out of the country with no plans of returning, and his sister does her own thing. We'd never abandon his grandma, but she is very old. This would be after she passes 10,000%. But he has lived here his whole life and likes it here. I have felt extremely torn and guilty about this, because I never want to take him away from his friends and what he loves. But moving would be years down the line anyway. We have talked about it quite a few times, and I can tell he doesn't love the idea, but he always says, it's kinda scary to think about moving. But if that is what makes you happy and your mom needs us, then we can totally do it. Anyway, he's working on finishing college. He got a work-study job to supplement his income, where he worked with a bunch of 18 to 19-year-olds who are also in college. He became friendly with them and started inviting them to some of the concerts we go to. He is extremely social and always invites everyone everywhere. One of them is a girl. I've met them at shows and they're all nice kids. Anyway, he wanted to go to a concert out of state over Halloween weekend. I told him I couldn't go because of school, legitimately, but he should find friends to go with him. I trust him after all. The 19-year-olds want to go. Fine, I don't care. A big group was all sharing a couple hotel rooms, so I knew there would be others in his room. I assumed that he wouldn't sleep in the bed with the only girl. I figured that was a given. They slept in a bed together, I found out later after confronting him. But nothing happened. What? You're married, bro. You don't get to sleep in a bed with a girl. After the trip, I had a really weird feeling. I can't explain it. I just could tell something was weird. He is a terrible liar. I chalked it up to me being crazy. He seemed to be very protective of his phone and was making sure to never set it down anywhere. He also kept asking if I was mad at him randomly. Last weekend, I had a trip planned to see my sister. I rarely check his location on Find My. Literally always trusted him. It was just there for safety. But since he went on the trip and started acting weird, I felt compelled to do so. He turned his location off as soon as I left town. I was on high alert. Then, on Saturday night, he texted me, "I'm going to bed, babe, I love you so much," and sent me a picture of our dog. The idiot didn't realize live photo was on and the girl was talking in the background. They were in our bed. I didn't say anything. I looked at our AT&T phone records, never done that before. He had been talking to her a lot, especially since I had left town. Like, I could see that he was calling her on his lunch break and would hang up with me and immediately call her and talk to her for like 30 minutes, talking to her in the middle of the night for hours when I was out of town. Anyway, I got home at about 2 a.m. on Monday and woke him up and confronted him. He lied for about 3 minutes before coming clean. He has had a crush on her since about August, and they never had bedroom activity. Just talked on the phone a lot and almost caressed and cuddled in our marital bed when I was out of town. I asked him what was wrong with me, and he said that he felt like, because I want to move, he feels like he's going to have to choose between me and everything else he loves one day, and that's a huge weight on him. Mind you, I wasn't planning to move for at least a few years, and he never said that to me the times we talked about it. Probably just an excuse. We had it out for a while, and I kicked him out. Since then, he has been literally falling apart, begging constantly. I'm the only thing he wants. Writing me poems, sobbing, bringing me flowers, blah blah blah. He regrets it so much. He called her to break up with her. He'll never do it again. He didn't mean to hurt me. He didn't realize what he was doing. He never wanted to be with her. He just got caught up. And now he realizes he's jeopardized the best thing that's ever happened to him. I really believe he loves me, but he still did what he did. Even if they really didn't have bedroom activity, it hurts really bad. My gut reaction was to leave. That was my plan when I found out. But literally I am so in love with him. I don't think I'll ever love someone like I love him. I want to be with him so badly. The pain is excruciating. I love our life together. I want to stay together. But I will never be able to trust him. And now, after all this, I want to move back to my family even more than before. What would you do? Can a marriage recover from this kind of thing? He had her in her house, then lied about not sleeping with her. That level of disrespect on top of the infidelity itself is violating and cruel. Adults don't just cuddle in bed, especially if they have been working themselves up with constant talk. Trickle truth is my belief. A relationship without trust is no kind of relationship. From this point forward, you will always wonder. You will want to know what he's doing when he's not with you, who he is with, who he may be sleeping with now, etc. It's going to eat you alive. He should have talked to you, but instead he started an affair with a young girl. It was highly inappropriate for him to sleep in the same bed with a girl when he was married. Not only that, but he brought her into your bed. That's a line that he crossed that I don't know I could get over. In your gut, do you think they actually had bedroom activity? What adults get together just to cuddle? This girl knew he was married and gave no care whether she was ruining your guy's marriage. So this was all caused by him not wanting to move and feeling the weight of having to do so, right? Well, none of that has been resolved. So what happens if you guys get back together and that time looms again? Because it will. That's still the plan. Is he gonna go find another side piece because he can't handle having a conversation with you about it? Sure, he's falling apart. He got caught and now he's having to deal with the repercussions of what he's done. That kind of goes with the cheating territory.